Hi. Today I decided just randomly to record this little video because I'm experiencing a really beautiful moment and I wanted to share some thoughts that came to me in this beauty. And here's what we're going to talk about today. Letting people go that you've held on to for unhealthy reasons, and how it actually feels to do that, or at least in my experience, how it actually feels to do that. Some of you might have no problem cutting someone off, letting someone go that is bad for you. Some people are just like that, and that's a fantastic skill, and you should be grateful for that. But a lot of us, even when we're in unhealthy relationships that we know are unhealthy, we stay in them. It can be because of fear. It can be because we're scared of letting go. It can be, oh wait, that's the same thing. We can be afraid of loneliness. We can be afraid of their reaction. We can be non-confrontational and not wanting to stir the pot, make any trouble for anyone or any dramatic situations. We can also just not want to hurt anyone's feelings, because sometimes it's not necessarily that you're in an abusive relationship, friendship, whatever it may be, with someone else. It can be that you're just in a relationship that doesn't feel good. It can be that you're friends with someone that you just kind of don't like. And I feel like we beat ourselves up for that type of thing, because why should I cut this person off when they didn't do anything? I just don't like them. And even when they did do a lot of things, you can convince yourself that, well, that's not worth cutting them out of my life. They didn't do anything too bad, or they had this reason and that reason to do these things to me or to others. And sometimes we just manipulate ourselves into keeping people in our lives. But one thing that I feel like a lot of us need to understand about that is the people in our lives are so important. And they're not important necessarily because, oh, they're people in your life, they're important to you, blah, blah, blah. They're also extremely important because the people in our lives shape us. The people in our lives are who we share our energy from, who we learn from, who we bounce our ideas off of. And if you're friends with someone, for example, that's extremely negative, and you bounce your ideas of dreams that you have for your life, or creative ideas, and they're just like, no, like, that sounds like a lot of work, that doesn't sound like it'll make a lot of money, that doesn't sound like it'll be successful. Just an example. That's a person in your life that may not be having this big blowout, betraying you and doing all these things, but just subtly, kind of quietly making you miserable and holding you back. And these relationships are very toxic when we stay in them, even when our intuition is telling us not to. Before I get into an example of my own and how it feels to have let go or cut somebody in your life off, especially one that is close perhaps, I want to say that you really need to look at your relationship sometimes. You will do what you want to do, but I believe that it's important to look at your relationships and think and ask yourself questions about these relationships, whatever comes to mind, with the goal of seeing, is this relationship one that I want to keep? Is this relationship one that I see my future self still enjoying? Or am I enjoying this relationship at all? Is it making me happy? Is it fulfilling me in some way? Is it growing me in some way? Am I learning from this person? Do I feel anxious around this person? do I feel happy around this person, or do I feel tight and constricted and kind of scared? Well, these are really important questions. Some of us may not even realize that we're in friendships, relationships, whatever you want to call it, that are holding us back. And honestly, it can be more than just holding you back. Relationships can make you a worse person. They can make you miserable, and you can think to yourself, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? Maybe it's because you have a negative perspective around you constantly that doesn't align with you. Maybe it's because you have bad energy around you that puts you down all the time. And maybe it's just kind of subtle, so you don't really know. But it's so important. It's so important. Now let's say that you've identified a relationship, or maybe multiple. Oh, hi. Hello. Oh, you're beautiful. Hi. What's up? How are you today? Have fun. What a beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Oh, are you sitting with me? Hi. What a gorgeous life that we live. Okay, let's say you've identified some relationships that you think may not be serving you, or may be holding you back, whatever it may be, okay? And let's say you actually decided that, you know what, I've thought about this and I don't really see a future where I'm happy and this person's in my life, or I don't see a future with this person, or I just don't like being around these people. Okay, you've decided. Now, how to do that is really up to you. It really depends on the situation, and it really depends on who you are. That's not really what I'm here to talk about. I can give my personal advice on that if anyone wants that, but how it feels after and during, it's kind of strange. In my experience, I have had lots of these relationships, but the one that comes to mind is one that I held on to for a long time because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I was scared of my own experience when actually cutting the person off or letting them go. I was scared of what I would feel. I was scared of what they would feel, especially. And it was such an up and down. I was like, one day I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm gonna end it. And then, you know what? The next day I would just push that to the back of my head and go hang out with them. You know what I mean? Because it's a hard thing to do for a lot of us. And the whole time I was doing that, I was thinking, once I finally do it, I'm gonna feel this way. I'm gonna feel so free in ways that I haven't felt because of a certain person or in certain situations. I will feel free. I'll feel like this big weight off my shoulders. And that's what I was looking forward to. But once I had finally done it, that is not how I felt at all. That is not how I felt at all. Yes, I was glad that I had finally done what I felt that I needed to do, but it wasn't that big wave of not relaxation, peace, relief that washed over me. It was just kind of residual feelings. I was like thinking about how the other person may feel about this, feeling bad for that, thinking back to good times. It was a roller coaster. And then sometimes I'd be like, I'm really happy I did this because I knew it needed to end. I'm so happy that this is like off my chest. It came in waves. It was not just boom, okay, it's done, I feel amazing. All these things that I've been avoiding, gone. No, that's not how it feels, okay? It's gonna be an ebb and a flow. But overall, I can tell you, in the small ways, in the quiet ways, in the subtle ways, and in the personal ways, doing these hard activities of letting someone go, of cutting someone off, makes a world of positive difference in my life. Because, yeah, it didn't instantly go away, but the more I spent without, the longer part of me I spent without this person and this burden on me, the more lighter I felt in situations or thought patterns where normally it would be this crushing anxiety of knowing that I needed to end this thing. So I just wanted to share that because I was thinking about it recently. Whoa, now I see the difference. Now that it's been a while, I see the difference, and I'm so thankful that I did that. But in the moment when it happened, I was like, whoa, this does not feel good. This does not feel good. I know I need to do this, but this does not feel good. And I did it anyway. And I'm so grateful for that. And thank you for listening to me. And I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, night, or a good tomorrow. There's so much beauty around you, and I believe that our lives are what we make of them in certain ways, and we can make the worst part of the harder part of our lives easier if we are honest with ourselves and do the uncomfortable things. It really can have a profound difference in your life. Thank you.